Hey guys, welcome to this episode.
Hi, my name is Alice Kanji,
And I'm Alexia.
and yes,
As you can see from the title,
of the
sorry, I
video.
can't. We're talking about Mula.
Talk about money. We talk about your personal relationship with money, your relationship with your family with money, your relationship with friends,
Your childhood, and how it
impacted your future,
attitudes to money.
and social media being a scam when it comes to money.
And lifestyle.
Just how we navigate through this life around money and the conversations that need to be had around money. So, I really think this was a really nice episode that everyone should listen to. So, make sure you tell a friend, tell a brother, sister, cousin to listen to Part of Our Brunch and this episode, to be specific. Before we get to the episode, I wanted to tell you guys to check out Dead Pixel Studios. Now, that is where we have filmed our past 3 episodes. As you can see, the setup has been lovely.
Yay.
Exactly.
And they also offer studio rental services. So we're going to link down their information in case you're interested in that. You can give them a call and you'll get more information.
Exactly. Photography, videography, and even the podcast that
I mean,
we want to be selfish with the podcast, but it's okay. Also,
they're not offering that.
They're not offering that.
But
yeah, shout out to Dead Pixel Studio, and I think now we can get into the episode and make sure you subscribe from wherever you're listening from, whether it's an audio listening platform, but they subscribe or follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, guys, it's free. Just subscribe, get us to 1K because you guys are being stingy. Seriously.
Yeah, we're putting in so much.
Support us. So that we can help you generate more content.
So that you can help
you generate. Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Anyway, guys, see you. Enjoy the episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey guys.
Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode
of Banter Over Brunch.
Hey, it's been our journey.
If you're watching this is a testimony of God's goodness in the land of the living.
We've had troubles trying to figure out the equipment stuff for this episode, but it's fine. We're here. Welcome back. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to our channel if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on the audio listening platforms, you can subscribe or follow from there as well.
Yeah. My name is Alexia Msao.
My name is Alice Kanji.
and
today we're talking about an interesting topic. When you start recording is when things start moving.
Yeah. But maybe guys haven't even heard whatever we're hearing. Remember when we used to be at that other space? I used to hear things. I'm like, sorry guys. Then I listen to the episode and I'm
it's
like,
funny because it's generally whenever you want to record, that dog has not barked the whole time.
Yeah, since we got here.
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, today's an interesting topic, and it's a topic that I think every single person can relate to.
Yes.
We're talking about money.
Yeah, and I think even when we started the podcast, it was always something that we said we were going to discuss. But I think we were overthinking a lot and thinking, okay, we want to advise people.
Yeah, actually, the reason why we held back was because we wanted a financial advisory type of episode on money.
Yeah.
But we figured
before we even get to that,
we try and relate our episodes to what our day-to-day experiences are, and I think money is one of those experiences that everyone goes through.
Yeah.
And where do we begin? You're the one leading the episode.
Me! Okay. How much money do you have?
How much money do I have? Am I rich? Are you rich?
No, I'm not.
I'm rich in life at about scarcity kiasi. I am aware that I am better off than other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We're being humble now. No, but it's true, yeah.
But I am nowhere near calling myself rich or even financially stable in general.
Yeah. And
I get money that I get from my salary, but there's nothing that I can say. I don't think I have enough money to say that, now I can start a family, I can move out, cater for myself. Maybe I do, but just not in the lifestyle that I want to live in myself. And I think that's also something we need to converse about.
Yeah.
How your personal relationship with money and how you perceive money as an individual, and how, because for me, maybe what I get or whatever you get is so enough for someone to start a family, to do their own thing, but for me, I'm looking at it like
it's not enough. It's not
there's
enough.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and there's something they call the money mindset, and the psychology of money. There's even a book titled "The Psychology of Money." And even our attitude towards money, even based on our childhood and how money is even perceived, even in our family setting. There's some families where,
first of all, let's
like, I think it was someone, I think John Alanamu, I don't know. I take in a lot of content, so I don't know if it was an interview or something, but he mentioned how, like, when he was in school, they had issues with money, and he would, I think, be kicked out of school because of fees and stuff like that, and just seeing how his mom and, like, just, so that made him sort of, like, fear money, and when money, it's like that thing of, now you have a scarcity mentality, because you're like, your childhood reminds you, hey, this happened at some point. I need to take care of money because one day it might not be there. Or even you can find, like, people, you're stable, your family is stable, both your parents are working, you guys are in good schools. Someone gets laid off. Something just happens. The business goes down, and now all of a sudden your lifestyle, you grow up with this sort of lifestyle, and now your parents are taking you to a public school. Maybe you're in an international school. Now there's no driver, there are no cars, matatu. So obviously now as you grow up, some of those things are like, hey.
And as a kid, you wonder, like, how are you taking me? Like, it feels like almost a burden.
Yeah.
You never really understand why your parents do certain things. But now that we're on the topic, what was your childhood relationship
with money?
Or how were you? How did your parents or people around you shape you to understand how money is? That you can link to
I think it was pretty healthy. I wouldn't say, like, I know my mom was those people, yes, when there was money, you'd, like, she would spoil us, or you'd, there were never extremes that you were too spoiled or anywhere that we can't get anything. It was always those ones of, at the right time. And she also taught us to delay gratification, like, not that today you want something, it's gonna come. So now I have to go to work and look for that money for it to come, which, okay, can be a good thing and a bad thing, because now you might feel like you have to slave 24/7. Yeah, but I feel like it was very balanced, extremely balanced. I think even with my dad, he was always those people. Till today, he's like, there's no handouts. You have to work for what you have, and once you've worked, you have the ability to freely enjoy and freely and use your money, because at the end of the day, when something like my mom keeps repeating, is money is a servant, we are the master, so let money do what it should do for you. The moment you reverse that role, you'll now become a slave to money, like. Yeah, and I think even for me now with investments, and now getting to that age where I'm trying to plan retirement, and I'm like, okay, I need to put my money in places where it will start making money for me immediately, rather than just sitting and it's just chilling. And now there's inflation, there's need. So the value of money is, what a thousand bob could buy 10 years ago. You're seeing on Twitter, people just buy oil and unga, and that's 1,000 bob gone. Yeah. So I'm very conscious. Yeah, imagine the chapo was like for Christmas and just to nice things. Yeah. And it's sad, but I've been watching a couple of YouTube videos, and a lot of people are saying, like, this is the time to actually get wealthy. The whole world is getting scared and like, oh, we're getting into a recession or the economy. But if you get it right, and if you get something or investment or a business that is meeting people's needs, and you're getting the cash flow, and this is a time to make money. So I'm also having pressure, like, okay, so how am I making that money? How am I utilizing this time that people are talking about and stuff like that? But yeah, I think for me, to answer your question on the childhood. And you?
That was a lot, but very valid points there. I think for me, it was mostly healthy. I think there was never a time where I felt like we are leading towards poverty. I think for us, my parents, for them, I think they were always delaying the gratification. So it was, and like growing as they go. So maybe we started in this house and then moved to this house and then moved to this other house. I think my siblings for sure would testify a lot more to the journey of how we got to where we are as my parents. But for me, me, I grew up in Muthaiga. Yeah, so that alone was like a big deal. And I went to really good schools compared to even my siblings.
Yeah.
But sometimes it also felt like, I mean, now I understand, but sometimes it also felt like I'm still not where my peers are. Because, you know, even as you elevate to those schools or those places,
you meet
now you become like the bottom of the hierarchy compared to how these other kids are being raised. They're going, you know, weekend they want to go to Junction, they want to watch a movie, they want to do this, they want to go here, they have drivers. But for me, it was almost like, so I think maybe at that time it felt like, how come us were not able to do some of these things?
Yeah.
I'm not able. When I ask mommy for money, sometimes she's like,
I don't have.
She always, like, my mom's favorite line was always, I don't have money, I don't have money. Now I understand. But
yeah, there's always that thing
she's always just saying, because there's a time we went to a shop. I remember till this day. There's a time we went to a shop. And there was a game I wanted so bad in town. Hapo karibu na stairs. Hata nakumbuka. I wanted that game so bad.
Etched in your mind.
It cost 3K. I even remember how much it was. And she said, no, I don't have money. Her usual line, I don't have money. Maybe we'll come back another day, but that one I can't buy today. The same day she bought a painting or a nini that we have in our house to this day. That was 3,000. And that was when I was just like, why would she say, so she always just lies, she doesn't have money.
Yeah.
But anyway, those are sad stories.
I think you need closure. You need closure with the painting, your mom, and yeah.
But yeah, no, my dad also always told us, like, it doesn't come easy, and was always adamant about getting clean money and, you know, being very, I don't know what to call it, but being very, very virtuous with your relationship with money. And, you know, not to also really work for what you need.
Yeah.
I think my relationship with money right now linked to my childhood. There was a time I had a very scarcity mentality, or rather, I've always been identified as a my son. Maybe these days I've changed a lot more.
I think you're on the other end now.
I think I've changed a lot more, yeah. But I used to be such a my son, especially in high school, because I was very cognizant of the fact that what I was getting, again, I went to really good schools, but what I was getting compared to what other people in my school were getting was way lower than what they had. So I always felt the need to, this money I need to spend it on holiday. I don't need to be spending it on these things for high school, snacks, nini. Like, I think even my friends used to look at me and be like, hey, Alice, you're not going to eat some, no, I don't have anything. I don't have enough money. And they'd always have to buy for me something. And I think, truthfully, it's impacted some of my friendships, especially from high school. Truthfully. And I think that's why I also felt the need, the money that I'm getting and the lifestyle I want to live, they're not matching up at all, or the friendships that I have, it's not matching. And that's why maybe I also felt by second year I needed to get a job, and that's why I think I've been working all throughout high school, throughout uni until I finished, just because I was feeling the pressure. I was feeling like, me, I'm getting just this small thing, and my friends want to do all the activities in the world. And truthfully, my close friends, and I strongly believe some of my very close friends friendships have ended because of the money disparity, where they always felt like I was constantly broke and had to, like, and they were like very high in the scale.
Yeah.
So maybe they want to go for lunch, and I'd always be like, hey guys, me, I can't afford lunch. So they'd always be like, oh, let's foot in. Or they'd come for me. And so I always used to say, just wait, like, me guys, when I get money, I'll sort you guys out. No, I know right now. But I think it just took a bit too long to get to that point.
Okay, you brought in something interesting. And I think we also mentioned it in our last episode with Gail, and we were saying about bums. Okay, you're not a bum, but and I was like,
in that situation, I feel like I was a bum.
Yeah, because we want to do things, but now we have to either consider you change the plan, and they're like, okay, for how long?
Maybe not even invite me for those plans.
Yeah. And you've taken us, now from family and childhood to even now friendships, which we can explore a bit, and lifestyle, because now you're saying like your friends at that point were living a certain life and you were not able to afford it.
Exactly.
Big up to you though. You went and looked for a job. Other people would look for
It's very
sponsors.
sad. There are very many people, or rather, there are very close friendships of mine that ended, and I know money was a huge factor, and I really wish we were friends today.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would want to give times 10 what they gave me.
Is it something that you've tried to reach out? Because I mean, if now the money was Asian, now you have at least some money.
Friendship immediately. And
tell them, hey guys, I have money.
I think I nearly a box. It's not that they told me it's ended because of this, but it's also because maybe people around me mentioned, maybe they felt this way, or I just knew it was a recurring issue in our friendship. So I, even deep down me, I felt this definitely was a factor. So it's not like they told me, but the fact that the friendship ended and they didn't even tell me the reason why it ended was enough for me to
conclude.
Me,
yeah.
There's no need.
And I don't think they were meant to be your friends, honestly. Because again, even if you're in uni, as you explained at that time, you were in uni, yeah? Is it uni?
Yeah, uni, high school through uni.
Surely, high school, sasa unataka nipate pesa wapi.
But unajua sasa mimi pia, labda the choice of friends that I decided.
You are reaching. You should have started.
You need to
stay on your lane.
The way you need to become, but also not
be.
I was not hiding the fact that I did not have money.
Yeah. And okay, now I feel like post-uni and now getting into the job market. Obviously, most guys, unemployment is still real in Kenya, but like you get into a job, I believe also some of your friends are not, you didn't just study the same thing, so they're in different fields, and maybe one pays better, so now again, okay, now we have jobs, you're making money, but you're making 5 times more than me, you're making 3 times more than me, and that can also bring some sort of thing, you know.
What do you feel about friendships and money? First,
I have a lot.
You have a lot to say, but me, I was going to say, first of all, you need to be honest. About having money or not, and also believe when that friend who has money tells you anado.
That's true, because we can make and perceive people, and even I'm sure people, even just in the world of social media, someone can see at least ata akangi home. Uyu akona pesa.
Oh, there's always something, and that is actually my reality right now. Of course, I'm not going to post my
your empty wallet.
Yeah, when I am stressed here recording this podcast, I've been telling you guys my struggles from morning, but people will only see the part where
the highlights.
The highlights.
Which is true, yeah.
Which is true.
So
social media is a lie.
Yeah, just as you say, even for friendships, you can think also, and so even family dynamics, you can think that family, they have money, so my friend must have money. That kitu, you know. So they said, I feel like we should be also very honest in friendships, in terms of money and things that we can afford and when we can afford them. And I think even us in our friendship circle, we've figured a way to sort of have experiences and plan for them early in advance, so that and someone who doesn't have that cash at hand right now, we are going next week, we can plan 3 months in advance, and people are able to contribute to whatever we want to do, you know.
Exactly.
Another thing about friendships and money is, for me, borrowing of money. How is, I don't, my friends don't borrow money from me. I don't know why. And I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, who has ever borrowed me? I don't think my friends have borrowed me.
Everyone has a perception of what it means to borrow money.
Yeah.
I think. So maybe it's their feeling, I can't borrow Alexia money to, I don't know, maybe our relationship might have up, or stuck. I don't want to be perceived a certain way. I think, if it's possible for you to shed off your presumptions, especially in friendships, I think people can be very far. But naturally, after me, I'll just assume, guys, son is Alexia do. And I don't want to even, maybe you're not even sure you'll be able to pay back on that time. Sometimes you're broke. Sometimes people don't believe you're broke because normally the person who has money or
even just, I don't know why, and yet everyone, I'm sure, has been broke. So why do we feel some embarrassment or some type of way and just shyness about not having money? Me personally, I remember one day I was broke to the I couldn't even afford 1,000 bob, guys, 1,000. And I just told my friend, by the way, I needed to pay for something, and I just pay for me, and I knew I'll get money at some point. I was like, okay, I'll pay you back. So personally, of course, there's always that thingy of, now I dance and so thing. Kind of the worst is you borrowed someone money, and then you're going for an activity, or you have a lunch and then I'm like, this person just like, oh, alikuwa tu anataka kukula. Now, so
doesn't matter what they wanted to do with that money. Just allow them to do what they needed to do.
Yeah, so but I think what breaks friendships is now the thing of not paying back or not communicating, because then you said sometimes you're not sure when you'll get that money to pay back. So maybe you'll just come up with a date, and then that date is nearing and hakuna dalili ya pesa. And then now instead of reaching out and telling your friend, oh, nini, now you keep quiet. You're not picking up calls. You're not. For me, I think that's where now I'm like, we can't be doing this dance. Yeah.
Restaurants nazo, kuna watu wana preferring ati you play, everyone pays the bill all of it. You split the total bill.
Let's behave ourselves. You can't be having champagne. I'm having tonic water, and we are splitting that. No, there I'm for everyone pay.
But I heard from the grapevine, people who are in different classes of money, where it's like everyone has money,
that
and
it's not an issue.
Do that, then it's no longer an issue.
Obviously, even me to reach a point, I'd be like, I just take my card. I got this. But for now,
the cards on the table, choose.
Yeah, okay. I still wanna do that one time, but like,
Amen.
But like it's not like in KFC, that is social housing.
Yeah.
Let's start small. Quest, that good food Quest. I can pay. It's like a 3K max. Yeah.
So see, today you do the thing.
But yeah, so as you say, yeah, for restaurants, I feel like obviously if you're rich and you guys don't care, cool. But I still feel like you just pay for what you ordered, honestly. Yeah. If that's the agreement, let it just be.
I want to bring in another conversation of your personal relationship with money in terms of how you price yourself to brands or to people that you're trying to work with in terms of business.
How you sell yourself, how much, how you quantify.
Am I underselling myself? Am I overselling yourself? And people can say so much of, oh, look at what the market is doing, or look at other people's portfolio. But sometimes I still struggle, or sometimes I feel like, I'm pricing myself too high for this thing, this amount of experience. Yeah. So I think that's also something I'm still trying to figure out. How do you really price yourself?
Even in the influencer space, it's something we're still trying to get our footing, even us. Especially because you see, money is like a taboo topic, or it's a thing of, I'm not going to talk about it. If there was a space where creators could openly talk about how much they're paying, how much you should charge for this brand, how much, but now you feel like I don't want to ask so what will they think? If I tell them, maybe they're being paid 3 times and now you'll feel bad. But I'm like, information is power, and the only way, because I think even for us, for our next campaign or whatever, I think those are conversations we need to sort of, hey, by the way, what are you, Nini? Yeah, I just know that there's enough to go around. Just because me I've said this and you've advised me on
actually,
how to
when they say yes, Araka, just know.
And the starting point is never, it's never, like that's the lowest, you can always still try and negotiate upwards. In terms of, let's say now even just business and not being the business, maybe you have a product or something. There's this thing called competitive pricing. It's a strategy that you use. Obviously, you have to look at what is my competitor, what's their pricing strategy? Where am I placing myself in the market? So sometimes, yes, you will charge a bit less than your competition, but you're attracting people because when they come and say, oh, this is 500 and this is 450. And it's more or less the same. Let me take the 450. Yeah, so again, I don't always think of, okay, because you can charge $1 million, let's charge that. Because sometimes now people are put off immediately before they even engage with you. They're like, it's too expensive. Let me get the cheaper option. Yeah. So one thing that I'd say about that is talk to your peers in the industry. Talk to, even now, like let's say in your industry, and you're trying to ask for a raise, and you're trying to, you can benchmark with someone and just say, hey, then you just say, oh, okay, these are your roles and responsibilities, and this is what you're being paid. Okay. So even me, when I'm approaching it like this, I'll be like, I've studied, I've done my market research, and I know what my peers are making and stuff like that. Yeah. So research 1,000%. And have those conversations.
Yeah, 1,000% agree.
Yeah.
And also, I think women do this a lot, undervalue their worth. because, and it's something that we are trying our best to fight, but maybe it's just a natural instinct within us where we're like, oh, because most men that I know or have interacted with, they do not shy off in saying, this is what this is the price, and I'm sticking to it, and this is because of this. I feel like no shade to women, and I want us to change, because I also have, we'd be like, oh, tendency. Okay, maybe you start second guessing yourself so much in a lot of decisions, and that's why even when it comes to funding for companies, even when it comes to going ahead to execute some ideas that you have, chasing some relationships, or just in general, I feel like women shy off or feel the need to, not feel the need, but anyway, undersell themselves more than they think they do. Yeah. Because there's a certain confidence that also you need to have when it comes to pricing yourself and pricing products or just anything. And your reasoning should be so solid, and that if anyone tries to shake you with something that looks like a very, very valid, you're able to counter that off and say, hey, this is it. This is what I know, and this is it. And being very confident in that and stand with that. But that also, I think it's the risk element that we try to avoid. Because it's like you can stay so stern, and then you're like, okay, you know what, we can't work with you. And then now nobody wants to,
Yeah, exactly.
You fear nobody's going to interact with you. But I think men have this risk benefit analysis where they're so firm with their risks that to some extent leads them to get more opportunities and get paid even higher in the women-men pay difference analogy. So for me, I think, long story short, I think we all need to build that risk management factor within us, and okay, even if I lose this, it's not the end of the world. Someone else is going to pay for whatever my product or service or whatever that I've priced myself, just because you know of the value and you can justify the value of what you have. Not as that we are just easily swayed. Another thing I wanted to bring up was still back to the childhood thing. I think a lot of this, people fear having conversations about money is very linked to the fear of having conversations around money from the time we were kids. Yeah. There's no time my mom or my dad sat me down to talk about, let's talk money. The same way they didn't talk about sex. The same way we never had a conversation of, maybe it was just small things of, money is, you need to save. You need to be hardworking so that you make your money. It wasn't something concrete. Like, how do you save? How do you have a healthy relationship with money? Yeah. How do you do this? And maybe there are questions that, of course, maybe we should have, but I think as the next generation of parents, when they come along, I don't know when. Yeah.
They are here already.
If you're a new parent, I think it's very valid and very keen to know, not just saying, I don't have money, but make your kid, or I'm assuming, make people understand why exactly that it's okay for you not to say you don't have money. Because for me it was like, mommy just keeps saying she doesn't have money. How do I know? But if you explain, the way you're saying, you need to work hard, you need to get a job to get money, and sometimes the climate, or just like very valid reasons which makes you understand. Maybe you lost your job, but some parents would feel like, I can't tell my child I lost my job, or, okay, so what does that mean? It means that the cash flow is less, and so the expectation should be, we can't do this, that.
As much. Yeah. And I think even as you're saying that, just even the open conversation, even in friendships. I mean, why not?
What are you earning? So that even as we know how to start, especially I don't know why it's such a taboo to talk about.
No, I think it's because we think it's such a scarce commodity. And I must be on this journey of making money myself. And your friend can advise you and then tell you, I tried out this and it's working for me. Yeah. I think even us in our chama group or something, we need to start having those actual real conversations. Not just, okay, so you're contributing, but what are you up to, and Nini, and how can we save? How can we invest? How can we make money? Because we all want to be rich. Everyone wants to have money, I believe. Do you want to have money?
Yeah.
Money it's a nice thing, so we just need to
my parents, what, listening to this podcast, I've forgotten what it's called. I said what I said. And that's just saying, there are people, even in their 30s, 40s, 50s, they still ask their parents for money. Why is there shame in saying that, for this one, I just asked my parents for money?
Yeah.
But I'm sure maybe I'll understand as I get older, but just feeling like, because see, I can ask my mom for money. I think now we can even relate to the black tax conversation.
First of all, even when I was talking about childhood, in my growing up, you were given money once a month and sort of don't ask again. Then I meet people who are so free asking their parents for money. And I'm like, hey.
There was never a time I'd even ask my mom for money for enjoyment.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, it was only in uni, first of all, that she gave me money. And when she gave me money in high school, it was pocket money. And that's why I felt like, this is it.
There's no other.
For the holiday, even.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Why was it so hard? And you start to ask yourself questions like, why was it so hard in the first place to even ask for money from your parents?
Yeah. And I'm like, even me, obviously, now as I'm, God willing, have kids and all that, is that the relationship I want to show them? Because you see, now it's like money is controlling.
It's great.
Yeah, so now you feel like, hey.
Yeah,
and don't come for more. So now, I want it to be a free sort of thing. Obviously, if you need money, it's not, again, I'm not saying that I'll just be take. I'll be like, okay, you want to buy this thing? You save 50%, I'll top you up another 50. That way I'm also encouraging you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've told me this thing is 60K, I'll give you 20, but after 40, and because I know maybe you're saving, you're working, but I just want that ease of communication. And that thing is, if money is here, let it serve us. So why would you stash millions in your account and your children are suffering? It makes sense, and they're suffering for things less than 100K. Make it make sense.
And I think one thing that we can gladly say is that, not gladly, why did I say gladly? We can say is also, it's also hard for you to bring up, if you barely have conversations with your family around things in general and life in general, especially your parents, it's going to be very hard for you to even bring up the conversations on money.
Yeah.
Because there's no open relationship. Because I was going to say that most of the time, if you notice, the people who are very open with their parents about money and like asking and then this, that, they also have a very close relationship. Not to say that people don't have close relationship with their parents just because they don't talk about money, but there's an element of a relationship that comes from being able to be open and honest about money within the family dynamic.
True. And even knowing how are we making money as a family?
Family peer is the devil.
Now
because
the other side.
There's a point where I don't think having that conversation, I think it's okay for you to hide how much money you make from your parents, from your siblings, from your cousins. Especially me personally, that's how I think. I think I'm growing up to think that way.
Yeah.
Because I have friends who I've talked to and they started making money, and then it's like, I am feeling like maybe my parents are taking a bit too much advantage of me. And
they feel entitled.
Of course, because they've raised you and they've given you everything to be the person that you are today. So even if you feel the need to be like, oh gosh, let me just give. But it comes to a point you're like, is this how my life is going to be?
Yeah, and then it forms resentment. Because now you're seeing a call, you're just like...
Yeah, and it's like, were you waiting for me to grow up for you to now say, yes, now I can take advantage of you?
Yeah.
Like, I think to some extent it's okay. To some things, yeah. But
some things,
point, nafika, you're like,
it's too much.
Uncle Nani is even saying at Auntie Nani is saying that... can you send money for...
Pay fees. Pay fees for your cousin's child's daughter.
Okay. And the black tax creeps up on you so slowly. It starts with Uncle Nani, and then Uncle Nani will tell Nani that, squeeze Nani akonado. Or
even siblings, even uncle, but it doesn't matter uncle. It's just immediate family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Squeeze you akonado, wacha alipe hii, wacha huyu alipie hii. And I'm like, sometimes I even just want to... I know the people who have impacted my life. Sometimes I want to just have that free will to say, let me give you this, or let me buy for you this. But sometimes it's like, hauna you leverage, hauna you space ya kusema.
It's a must.
It's a must. Sasa umeingia chama ya family, lazima contribute left, right, like whether you like it or not. And I don't know. I guess it's been so normalized, especially in the African culture and the Kenyan culture, that you're not contributing money because now you think umefika point hawezi hata interact na watu wengine.
Hey, for me, I think boundaries have to be set. Yeah, that one, we just have to set boundaries. Whether if it's with your parents, if it's with... Me, I'd rather say, I'm sending you this every month. You know, you what you do with it, I don't need to know. But see, we've agreed, this is what I'm sending. Now, other things that... because let me tell you, and the worst thing is now having that resentment. That thing of now, yani hata your money... No, it's such a sad thing, honestly, just thinking about it, because I know there's some people who are deep into black tax, you know, and they don't even know.
True.
I know once it starts, it's a bit... Once mtu amezoea, to tell them, no, I'm not... Hey? It's really hard to get out of it once you're already in the system.
And you know, our parents have really been internalized that black, because I strongly know that maybe my parents have maybe paid for school fees for sijui how many people, they've bought sijui nani a house, or sijui gotten this nani a job, or what. So it's like so deeply engraved in them that it may not make sense for you to tell them that, me, I want to set boundaries, because for them there was nothing like boundaries.
There is nothing. Your community project. You said
this is a community project.
Jenga shule
like we all took you to school. We all contribute. And now hujafanya kitu. It's just because of the fact that you're my sibling.
Yeah. No, I think definitely healthy boundaries need to be set, and I'm grateful that I think when the generation that we're in, we're more outspoken, and we're not just accepting, you know, things. We're more like,
But what wanaichukwanga kama madharau sometimes. Hiyo ndio.
Me, it's okay. Yeah. Madharau is another person's problem.
Another mentality of me, I'm just living my life for me. Because you know, sometimes you used to wonder why some family members are outcasts, or they're not at welcome, at who you are pending. They're just in their own wave or bubble.
Yeah.
You start to understand that it's okay.
It's okay.
What? Because you hating and then...
It's not like... Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I just feel like also by the time you're having some people just understand, they won't understand what you're saying, where you're coming from, you know. Because also it needs to be something that someone can see. And yeah. But obviously other people just be so offended and be like, oh, you're mean, oh, what, you know. Accept that could be a possible outcome. They might not understand at you're trying to set a boundary. What is that? Yeah. But now, obviously, people who are more mature and have an understanding will be like, oh, okay, it's true. If you feel that way, sawa. If that's what you decide to give me per month or something, that's okay. And I respect that. You know, yeah.
Hey, their family members are normally just waiting. Cousins, my uncles, my aunties, they just wait for you to grow up. They're nice to you. Hey.
Surely, not calling it just an agenda. That's scary. Don't be that person.
But also, maybe you never understand other people's financial situations. Yeah. Maybe there's a reason why they're that way, but also...
With limits. Just don't be entitled. You know, because there are those people who, they don't... It's not like they're even asking, they're demanding. That's entitlement. Don't be entitled, and don't make it a habit. Simple. Yeah. We talked about something about social media. I want us to touch on that before we wrap up this episode. How many minutes are we in? Like 30, something like that. Yeah, about people posting their highlights, nini. You know, you can be in competition with someone, you don't know them. You don't know the family they are from. You don't know anything about this person, you know. And that's even us, we've used ourselves as examples. Sometimes we are broke, busted, and disgusted, but to Instagram.
For sure.
Tumeenda pahali to them.
Of course.
Yeah, and you don't know if that's the person, if I'm the one who paid. Maybe someone sponsored me, you know. Maybe.
Always presumptions.
Yeah.
No, you don't remember shape.
You don't know. Or maybe, again, we have saved for 1 year. Even as we are going, maybe I don't have money, but since
people
I saved...
People like in Dubai eating poo-poo. You don't know, you're just here saying...
At least you're soft.
No, it's because we're always just assuming...
Like everyone in students like...
No, see, because of that scandal,
yeah,
people like Dubai are just saying, partying, prosecco, nene.
They're eating shit.
People are eating shit in Dubai.
Yeah.
To get that money. So you continue assuming...
Yeah.
That... people are millionaires here. How are they becoming millionaires?
They're drowning in debt, and like, you know, so for me, I've always, obviously it's easier said than done, because obviously sometimes when you're consuming social media and content, you tend to feel a bit like, oh, this one is, so many people are doing better than me. Me, hata sijaipa promotion. I'm not making any advancements, you know. It's easier said than done. Yeah. But just always know that you don't know the full story. Whatever you're seeing on social media is a 15-second story. It's just a post. It's just a reel. You don't know the background. You don't know what someone might be doing.
Guns reels. Yeah. It's a squeezy they can make
if the money you have cannot eat that money, yeah, you can't afford to eat the money.
Some people don't even save. Some people get money and they just spend. And then a crisis comes and it's eating everyone. So yeah, you never give yourself grace, one, in everything that you do, including how you handle your finances. Know that whatever situation you're in, like, and don't compare yourself with other people. Have honest and open conversations with other people about money, so that even you changamuke, or you know that I'm not alone in this, because you can be drowning in your own misery, thinking that nobody can understand you. But we all interact with money and have individualistic relationships with money. So, and as much as they may not understand maybe what you're going through, I think someone will have an idea of what you're going through, especially when they're an adult, because it's not safe out here. It's tough.
It's tough. And
I think I understand why someone can even become a sugar
baby.
Why those women are in Dubai, you know.
Yeah, but sometimes also now it makes sense, because now you're chasing a high lifestyle, which is not necessary. I mean, I feel like as long as you can eat, you have a roof over your head. Because now sometimes it's like a greed. You just want a lot.
Yeah, I think
so now you're doing crazy things for just some insane amount of money.
It all comes back to the self-contentment that I think we talked about in the last episode. It all comes back to you placing value on things that matter, and know that life is very specific to you. So maybe it could be about but it's about the relationships that you build with people. Whatever happiness means to you, even if it's financial, I don't think that's a good metric to value your happiness towards. And yes, money can bring you happiness, but if you put that out of the equation, what else is of meaning to you? Do you have friends that you can talk to? Do you have family? Do you have I don't know, a healthy mind, body?
Because you can have all the money and you're sick.
People can get so depressed chasing money, and even when you have that money, like, more money, more problems. You say that all the time in this podcast. So yeah,
and also I think in this day and age, you cannot just afford to say you don't know. I don't know how to save money. I don't know how to invest. I feel like there's so much out there. There's so much information. People are willing to share this information, some for free, others at a cost. And I just don't feel like ignorance should be the answer. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out, go figure out, how am I making this money work for me? How am I making more money? What can I do?
Ooh. Okay, I think I'd like to say episode there.
But I think one thing I want to pass across is, let's not make money that topic that
such a taboo.
We can't believe. Even money and relationships. We didn't talk about, like, romantic relationships. These are conversations you need to be having.
When do you have the conversation about money with your partner?
I think ours just went. It was very organic. It just started. Because obviously someone needs to know, so what do you do? What do you make? So I feel like at the beginning, because you don't want to start a relationship and you don't even have a financial foundation before you've started. Because you might be having expectations for this person, and then you're like, why are they not meeting these expectations? But labda hawana, or maybe even they don't believe in giving money to someone else. Like, you come with your own money, you do your things, me come with my own money, I do my things. So I think at the beginning, in the first 2 months, even the first month, just have that conversation. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary.
I think there's a lot of foundation work that is normally necessary in the first months in the relationship, and to me, I think those are even the months that are most prone to, like, big arguments, because like, you're trying to understand each other, especially on a financial level, and coming to terms with, okay, how do we make this work? How do I accommodate someone else into this budget of mine.
And maybe someone is a spendthrift, you're more cautious,
how
and now
you
you're
guys
like,
handle
you're
money.
turning me off because you're just spending money.
Exactly.
And you're like, I want him konogam, you're not even giving me money.
Your person used to do that.
Who?
Your person used to buy food every single day and like spend money. Less keen as he is now.
When we started, I think we were just having fun with Kinalis and friends.
Yeah.
And then this year, I think now there's that shift of, okay, we've finished honeymoon stage. Now we need to use money wisely and plan for money. And, okay, where is this money going? What is it doing? Is it... Yeah, so... Yeah. There are also seasons. There are seasons where...
Murudi is a season.
Hell, we're not in that season. We're not. But I think it's even for you sometimes, even like when you're saving for something, you demand yourself more than, let's say now when you're just chilling, you know. I just did my monthly budget. I was like, okay, now I know how much I can spend this month and still be comfortable. But the other months I'm like, hey, sionekani.
There's no way I'm doing.
Yeah. So have those conversations.
Can talk forever, but
we
can end this episode here.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed this one. And be careful with money. And don't let it be your master.
Yes. Be the master. The money is the servant. Have those conversations. Take care of money. It will take care of you. Honor money. It will honor you.
Amen.
Sawa. So you guys enjoy. Bye-bye. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us about your relationship with money, what you've learned. Follow us on our social media platforms. Yes, follow us on your social media. Alice is distracting me. Sorry, guys. Follow us on our social media platforms at Banter of a Branch on Instagram, BOB Podcast _ on Twitter. And guys, we are running a dilemma story. So we have a form that we're going to share in the description box. Even on our Instagram, you'll be able to access it. If you want to share a dilemma with us, and we'll obviously keep it anonymous. We've designed the form to keep it anonymous, and we can just give our 2 cents. Do feel free, and we'll have an episode on that soon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One other thing is special shout out to Dead Pixel Studios. That's where we've been filming our last 2 episodes, and this episode. That's where we've been filming. As you can see, the quality is scrumptious. They do photography, they do videography shoots as well, and
studio rental. Yeah.
They do studio rental. Yeah. Exactly. So huge shout out to you guys, and thank you so much for helping us bring this podcast set up to life.
Yes, you can check them out also on Instagram. We'll be sure to tag them, and you can be able to get in touch in case you'd like to rent out the studio.
Exactly.
Yes. So that's it.
Hasta la vista.
Ciao.